Obamacare is really, I think, the worst thing that has happened in this nation since slavery. And it is, in a way, it is slavery, in a way, because it is making all of us subservient to the government.
That I was watching that and I was really confounded about what you meant. How can you compare a health care program to the brutal oppression and abuse of black people in this country?
Okay, I can tell you very easily. First of all, if you listen carefully to what I said it's the worst thing since slavery. Now, there are those who will say he said it's equivalent to slavery, who probably don't understand how the English language works. And it's sort of like the kid on the playground at school who runs over to one kid and says, he's talking about your mama. And then he goes to the other, he's talking about your mama, so that they can get in a fight, rather than actually concentrating on the issue. The issue here is that we have turned over to the government the most important thing we have, which is our health and our health care. And for those who are well-read, they will know that many people who have not had the interest of the United States at heart have advocated making the population dependent in order to achieve the, quote, utopian society.
All right, let me jump in there, because you said who have not had... You said who have not had...
And the best way to do...
You said, I understand where you're going. You said, and the best way to do that is to control people through health care. But you're saying that these have been influenced by people who didn't have America's best interest at heart. Are you saying the president and this administration don't have Americans' best interest at heart because they're trying to get people health coverage?
No, I'm talking about the neo-Marxist. This literature is easy to find.
I know, but you're comparing it to the Obama administration and to Obamacare.
What I am saying is factual, historical information. Now, you can make whatever allusions you'd like to make to it in order to try to inflame the situation. But
I'm not trying to inflame the situation. I'm trying to understand it, because you're saying you're not talking about the Obama administration, but you're comparing Obamacare to that, and you're saying the way that people have been controlled is through
I'm
that
comparing
method.
Obamacare to what? What am I comparing Obamacare?
Well, you compared it to slavery. You said in a way it is slavery because you use it to control people.
Did I just tell you that it's not the worst thing since, that it's not comparable to slavery?
But
slavery is a horrible, horrible thing. I can tell you a lot of things about it, but the reason that this is the next worst thing is because it is taking the most important thing that you have and subjecting it to control by the government. That is the first step to government control of everything. And again, this is something that is easily verifiable by those who are historical, who indulge in reading
Here's where
history.
most people would take issue, because they would say that Jim Crow is pretty bad, that World War II is pretty bad, that Vietnam was pretty bad, that D-Day was pretty bad, that Iraq was pretty bad, that Japanese internment camps were pretty bad. All these things were terrible, and they have happened since slavery. And you say Obamacare is worse than all of those things?
I do say that, yes. All of those things are bad, but those do not fundamentally change the United States. This is the beginning of a fundamental change of moving away from a government that is for of and by the people to a government that is for of and by the government. It flies in the face of what America is all about.
Okay, I want to move on now to the VA scandal, and I want to read what you said about the scandal at the VA just last month. And you said, I think that what's happening with the veterans is a gift from God to show us what happens when you take layers and layers of bureaucracy and place them between the patients and the healthcare providers. A gift from God? I mean, granted, no one thinks that the VA functions properly, but veterans who serve this country may have died waiting for care. Do you regret at all saying that?
Well, let me tell you exactly what that means, because most people know exactly what I'm talking about. It demonstrates to us very easily, without a lot of subterfuge, what happens when you place layers and layers of bureaucrats between patients and between the healthcare providers. It makes it crystal clear what's going to happen. That's why it's a gift from God to be able to show that to people. Now, I know that some left-wing people have said, Carson said that God wants veterans to die, but I don't think anybody with any sense actually believes that.
I know, but Doctor, you just said that you think that the rhetoric should be toned down in this country, and you know, you can't go over and say, I said this about you. But when you use comparisons like that and words like that, then you don't really, then you're ratcheting up the rhetoric. You don't think so?
It only ratchets up the rhetoric when people try to misinterpret it. When people listen to what I'm saying, it doesn't ratchet up the rhetoric at all.